This is the only MLB parlay strategy that actually works. It hits at 90%, and I'm going to show you exactly how to find that in this video. Most of you are probably thinking, no way this is possible. And it's because you're putting in parlays that have a negative value. But I'm going to show you how to correct that mistake. Now make sure you guys stay to the end because I'm going to show you exactly all the websites that you need to be able to implement this strategy. So let's get into it. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and we're going to pull up the top 15 pitchers for the stat of home runs allowed per 9 innings. Now I'm going to give you guys a screenshot right here, so you guys might want to pause this and write that down. Write down these pitchers because you're going to probably use these within the whole entire year. So I'm going to use a live example as we're going through this as well. So if you screenshot it or you wrote down or you paused it, wrote down all those pitchers, well now I'm going to pick 2 pitchers from that list and I'm going to use them as an example. Okay, first one's going to be Logan Webb. The next one's going to be Max Fried. All right, so we got 2 pitchers written down out of the top 15 for home runs per 9 innings allowed. Next step, we're going to go and we're going to look at the matchups, okay, for players against the pitchers. So like I said, if you guys stick to the end, I'm going to show you the websites that you need so that way you know exactly which website to go to and where to find this information at. So the matchups for the players against the pitchers. So for example, we're using Logan Webb, we're using Max Fried. We want to look at the matchups head-to-head with the hitter going against that pitcher historically, how have they played against each other. And what we're going to do is we're going to make a list, okay, the players who haven't hit a home run against the pitcher. And this means in their career, okay? In their career, they have 0 home runs against the pitcher that they're going against. They've never hit a home run against that pitcher. So it just so happens that the pitchers that I'm using are actually going against each other when I'm using this example. So I'm going to go ahead and make the list of these players so you guys can see exactly how this works, a visual of how it actually works. All right, so let's go ahead and get to it. So let's write these players down. All right, we got Grisham, we got Chisholm, we got Rice, Bellinger, Stanton, Caballero, and Wells. All right, this is just on one side now. All right, we're going to do the other side as well because like I said, these pitchers are going against each other, so we could actually get a good sample size on both ends here. All right, so let's go through this list now of these players. These are the players that have never hit a home run against Logan Webb. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to find the percentage. So what we have to do is when the season is starting, we have to use prior season. All right, so we have to use the season before because we don't have any data, obviously, when the season starts. So use prior season data. If we are in the middle of the year, then we can use the data from this year, okay? And you could use data from this year and last year. The more data, the better. So what we're going to go through now and see exactly what is the percent that these players have hit a home run, whether it be throughout this year or the prior season, and we're going to put that percentage down. How many times they've hit a home run? How many times have they not hit a home run? It's pretty easy. So what you do is you find how many times they've hit a home run, and you just go backwards on that. All right. So we'll go ahead and make a list here of the percentages of what's the percentage that these guys are not going to hit a home run. So this is essentially putting the true probability of them being able to hit a home run into the calculation here. All right, so Grisham, we got 79%. Chisholm, we got 79%. Rice, 80%. Bellinger, 83%. Stanton, 72%. Caballero, 96%. And Wells at 83%. So now what we want to do is we want to circle the person that has the highest percent to not hit a home run. So that would be Caballero, right? 96%. So what we're going to do is we're going to take that guy and we're going to put him off to the side. All right, we're not going to worry about anybody else in this lineup now. Okay, we got somebody that has a 96% chance to not hit a home run and has never hit a home run against the pitcher he's going against. Now let's work the other side. All right, so like I said, we can actually make 2 sides here because these pitchers are going against each other. So let's go ahead and write down the other side of the players as well. All right, we got Ramos, Chapman, Adames, Herrera, Bailey, and Lee. All right, same thing here now. Let's go through and find the percentages for them to not hit a home run, the true probability percentages. Ramos, we got 87%. Chapman, we got 85%. Adames, 84%. Herrera's, 94%. Encarnacion, we got 85% for him. And then Bailey, we got 95%. Lee, we got 95%. All right, so this lineup here, we actually have a couple guys here. All right, so Ferrares, we got 94%. Bailey, we got 95%. Lee, we got 95%. All right, so we're going to write those guys down. So now let's get to the next step after we have segregated to what? We got 4 players right now. We got segregated to 4 players. let's get to our next step and the most important step, obviously. All right, let's get to number 4 here. This is going to be, what type of bet are we placing? Okay, this is going to be a parlay for under 0.5 home runs. All right, so meaning these players just have to not hit a home run, right? They just have to not hit a home run. So let's go ahead and write those players down, the 4 that we actually have here, okay? We have what? Lee, Bailey, Cubby, and all right, so we got 4 players here that are hitting 95% opportunity for them to not hit a home run. So what do we do here? We're going to take these players because essentially what do we have here? We have players that on the year, or the prior year, depending on when you're watching this, don't have good stats for hitting a home run, period. All right, true probability of them hitting a home run is very, very, very low. Now they're going against a pitcher that they have never hit a home run against in their entire career. So what do we have there? We have a mixture of 4 players here that are almost near guaranteed to not hit a home run in this game. So all we do here now is we add all these players together on a parlay. You use them on a parlay. Now the odds on these players are going to be crazy, but once you put them together, it's going to lower it down a little bit. All right. So, for example, you know, Lee is probably going to be like minus 5,000. Bailey probably minus 3,000. All right. Cubby minus 1,200 if I looked at that correctly. Herrera's is going to be probably minus like 2,000. All right, those are the odds you're going to get with these guys to not hit a home run. But when you put them all together, you're going to get probably around odds, more or less, of minus 500 or whatnot. And again, all we're hoping for is these guys to not hit a home run. And again, we put them in the best situation possible. Even putting them all together, they're in the best situation possible for not hitting a home run. They've never hit a home run against the pitcher that they're going against, and they hit a home run rate very, very low, where it's over 94 to 95, 96% of the time they're not hitting a home run just on a regular basis. Now let's go through the websites that you need to implement this information. All right, so first off, the top 15 pitchers, okay? So for the top 15 pitchers that have the home run per 9 innings allowed, you're gonna go to baseballreference.com, all right? Baseballreference.com, and you will find a ton of stats on there. Trust me, you're gonna find a ton of stats for baseball that you could use. But what you're going to look for is active players, okay? Active pitchers, home runs per 9 innings. Next is going to be the matchups. How are you going to find the matchups? You're going to go to Fantasy Alarm, okay? And you're going to go to MLB matchups. Once you do that, you're going to see exactly how those hitters do against that exact pitcher, okay? It's going to give you the stats right there in the lineup, exactly how they do. And obviously what we're looking for is a big 0 under the home run column for when they go against that pitcher. And lastly, where could you put this play in at? Which sportsbooks could you use? Well, for example, a couple that you could use is, one is BetMGM, okay? Another one is Caesars, you could use as well. There's a couple more that you could possibly use, and even some offshore ones. So shouldn't have a problem being able to get this type of play down, but it's not gonna be available at every single sportsbook. All right, but if you guys follow the instructions that I showed you exactly in this video on how to come up with an MLB parlay that hits a crazy amount of the time. Now it is boring, obviously, right? Because you're hoping they don't hit a home run. Like, that's not too exciting. But what would you rather have? Would you rather have money, or would you rather have excitement? Would you rather be excited but you lose money, or would you rather be bored and you actually make money? Now, if you guys want to learn all the strategies that I have in MLB, where I hit a crazy rate for MLB season, make sure you guys click the link in the description. And join me for MLB season, because we're going to make a lot of money. As always, guys, I'm Frank with Linemaker Sports. I'll see you guys in the next video. Till then, I'm out.